So, to reflect on trauma and its impact and trauma informed care after reading uh, this week's content in the module, and also reflecting back from the resiliency quiz and my results, I think that a lot of what we experience as children and while our brains are developing and creating neural circuits, I believe that that's really what impacts you when you experience things as an adult. So, like we were reading in Dr. Perry's Long Shadow, the two people experience a traumatic event, but how they perceive it and how they process it afterwards really depends on the environment that they were raised in and whether they were under a lot of stress or fear or anger when they were children, such as seeing domestic violence or any type or not having that attachment to a caregiver or anything that could cause, a childhood that isn't ideal or typical and creates these unwanted stress responses that people who have these resiliency factors and who haven't experienced trauma in their later in life or earlier in life, you don't see that with them. And with my resiliency test and reading through the module, I have a fairly high resiliency score, and I think that it's made me be able to go through things because I know that at the end of the day I'll be able to overcome them, where some people don't ever overcome their experiences or their trauma, whereas everything in my childhood has been solved. And I think it just goes to show that I have a good support system that helps me go through these things, and I know that I'm not alone, and I think it really helps me to process my traumatic experiences a little better, and it brings me back to baseline, whereas some people who have had traumatic experiences all throughout their life and throughout childhood, their childhood was traumatic. I believe that it's harder for them, or they never get back to baseline because they're already in that state of fear and anxiety.